what's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I am your host, Miss Sabrina Seoul, and tonight is the missing link. I know we have been overwhelming you with some amazing content, some amazing shows, from the meet and greets that I've been doing, from the panel reviews, from the watch parties. And you guys know that, now it's time to get to business. Okay. And tonight on The Missing Link, I have Mr. Randall Scott here with me. And thank you so much for joining me. I so appreciate it. It's a little different tonight because we're really not talking about, and we're going to get into that, we're not talking about that other stuff. We're going to be talking about your stuff, okay?
I like
Say it again.
I said I like it. I like it that way.
You like it, I love it, honey. And I like it like that too, okay? Because it's business over here. And y'all know I'm always about my business. Shout out to the 17 of you that are in the chat right now. I appreciate it. If you have not, 22 right now, it's going up. If you have not hit that thumbs up, definitely click that thumbs up. If you have not subscribed, definitely subscribe. And if you have any questions you would like to ask Randall, make sure you put them in the comment section. If we get a chance, or if I get a chance, not we, but if I get a chance, I'll definitely, get to them and ask Randall for you. All right. Do you have any questions for me, Randall?
Not at the moment.
Okay. All right. I had to ask. Normally I don't ask because I'm the one asking the question. All right. You guys know I like to jump right into it. And my very first question to you is, who is Randall Scott?
I would say a fun-loving, charismatic guy that truly just in love with the overall grind. It's the best way I can describe it.
Oh my God. I know, honey, that should be like the hardest question that I'm going to ask you. I know it's more. I need more, Randall. I need more. I need more. Like, are you passionate? Are you shy? Are you a go-getter? Are you someone that, wears his heart on his sleeve? Like, I need more. You're a pescatarian. I need more.
No,
Who
I'm
is
definitely
Randall
not a
Scott?
pescatarian. I can tell you that. I love meat, so I'm not that. But I'm definitely a go-getter. I get up every day at 4:45.
Oh, congratulations.
Every single day I'm up. I want to make sure I get up before I have any clients. I especially have my own process of waking up. I get up and I start my day off really, really soft. So what I like to do is make sure I take at least an hour before leaving the house because I need to be at a 10. Because I feel like my job is to be in a good mood at all times because I have to provide energy for other people. So.
Right.
I have my own process. I'm definitely a go-getter. I'm super passionate. I absolutely love what I do. Absolutely love it. I feel like I don't have a job. I just posted maybe a couple days ago, clarifying. People were talking about what does he do? And I flat out just said, to be quite honest with you, I don't have a job. I don't have one. I have a lifestyle, and I just found a way to get paid to live the way that I want to. I get paid to do the things that I would do for free. So
Right.
that's why I can say that. Is that better?
Amazing job to have. Trust me, I know. All right, so let's let everybody know, like, where did you grow up? Where are you from? And, I know you've said it many a times, but like, where were you born? Like, I want to know when you were like 2-year-old little Randall, like, where were you running around in the yard and running up and down the street? Like that, like, I want you to go take it way back.
So both of my parents is from the Washington, D.C. area. So I was actually born in D.C. I know a lot of people live there. They're not born from there. I'm actually a native. So I would say like native son, like when I go home. So I'm born in the city. I was raised in Prince George's County, right across the line, in Sea Pleasant, Maryland.
So you were, because I've heard you say many a times you're from DC, you're from Maryland. I didn't know you were like born there.
Yeah. I'm born there, born and raised.
Because I remember, God, don't hate me, guys, because I don't like to get off track. But I remember, like, when we were on the show, they used to be like, they're implants. They're not from DC. That's what they used to say about us.
Yeah. We take pride in it, like when you're actually from the city, you make it known,
Right.
I was actually born here, my birth certificate got it on there and everything. I can tell you the part of town I grew up in, third and uptown, Northwest Washington, D.C., like everything, that's before you even cross over into Sea Pleasant later on.
Right. So do you like go-go music?
Of course. Now, am I a go-go head like most of my friends from home? I'm not, but I have a thing for live music. So, as a kid, I used to go to the go-go's, and when you hear it live, oh my God, it's like some of the best sounds that you can possibly experience.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I've gotten a chance to experience it because I lived there for pretty much 15 years. So I get it.
Yeah.
So are the Redskins your favorite football team?
Never heard of them. Never heard of them. Yeah, never heard of them. Who are you asking me about?
Who's your favorite football team?
I'm a Cowboys fan. Yeah, DC stands for Dallas Cowboys. I hope you post that. You should make a little snippet of me saying that.
Oh shoot!
Yeah.
They're gonna rip you apart, Randall.
I wear it with pride, and I'm the only one in my family too. Everybody, they're all, I guess Commanders fans. They all are Commanders fans, not me. I'm the only Cowboys fan. My mom always kicked me out the house when I was a kid. After we beat them. But I'm used to it.
They gonna start calling you an implant too. Watch. They're gonna be like, "How you from DC and you a Cowboys fan?" They gonna eat you up, child.
I'm just smart, man. You can't hate me.
You say you smart. Oh my God, I can't. Let me move before because you done got your own self-interest. We only 7 minutes in. I get it though. I get it because it is a lot, which is so crazy, but it's a lot of DC natives that are freaking Cowboys fans.
It's a big rivalry, and like I don't know how it happens. A couple scenarios or thought process behind how it happened because I'm typically the oddball. So back growing up, everyone played video games and they had PlayStations. I had like Nintendo 64s and Dreamcast. I always went the opposite direction. That had a lot to do with it. And when I was a kid, the Cowboys were winning Super Bowls. So multiple.
Yeah, I try to like the Redskins, but it's so hard to because they always end up losing to themselves, and I just be like, like they never lose because the other team is playing bad or good. They just be doing stuff to themselves, and I'll be like, why? So people like about to have heart attacks and everything, like having strokes, like their health and that's not even a joke. People's health be involved.
Yeah, absolutely.
Real serious.
That's the one game I did not want to lose because we're like it's a huge rivalry, right? It's a big, but we're like their Super Bowl. Like they beat us. Oh my God, man! Like it's like the biggest thing in the city. Everybody friendly, giving high fives. DC people, they don't know you, they don't talk. But that day, everybody talking. I'm like,
yeah.
Luckily, it doesn't happen often, but when it does, it's bad.
Yeah, no, I know. Like it's real bad. I just be laughing the whole time. I'm just always laughing, just laughing at all y'all, all them anyway.
Maybe the littlest thing. Like my mom called me. I think it was like last week they were winning and we were losing, and she called, and then next thing you know we won and they lost bad, and she didn't answer the phone no more. Like she won't.
That's how it be. How it be. I don't know. I've never been into. I played sports in school, but I've never been into sports like that. So it's just not my language, sports, but I love to watch it. But I don't have like a team. I just love to watch football. I love to watch basketball, but it's like not rooting for, so, and just to see y'all act like that, it's freaking hilarious. I love it.
I love
it's better than the game. Yeah. When y'all act like that, it's so much better than the game.
What's funny is I typically don't like watching Cowboy games around people. It's too much emotion involved. I don't need to be around. I like to just watch it by myself. Now, any other game, I'm for it, but I'm not. I don't want to watch the game around nobody because I'm be mad. I go through all the emotions. I get happy, mad, upset, all of it. So I just lock myself away in peace.
Yeah. Okay. So let's move forward because we are not on here to talk about football. So growing up, what did you want to be growing up?
Honestly, I knew from a little kid that I wanted to be a computer engineer. Yeah, it's my mom's fault. Like my mom, she used to work for General Electric, and she used to work on computers all of the time. In fact, she worked on like one of the first supercomputers and stuff like that. So, me being a child, I used to like take things apart when I got bored. Like, I used to take apart like clocks and like anything, table. I used to take it all the way apart, open it up, take the motherboard off, unplug wires, stuff like that, and then I would put it back together, like try to put it back together and make it work so I wouldn't get in trouble because I wasn't supposed to do this. So eventually they just started giving me like broken stuff, like broken clocks and all types of digital equipment. So I knew at a very young age that I wanted to be in computers.
How old were you when all that was going on?
Taking stuff apart, I was really young. Like I probably started taking stuff apart about like between like 5 and 7. I was literally taking because I didn't want to play sports. That's what people don't get. Like my mother had to like force me into playing sports. I wasn't playing. I was pretty fine, like watching like cartoons, like, and I used to like Magic School Bus and stuff like that. And then like I was literally just find stuff and just take it apart. So they had to like force me outside the house just so I could be social.
Tag. And that's so crazy because you're 6'5". Like
Yeah,
you're extremely tall.
wasn't
And
always.
what made you feel like you did not want to play sports? Like because you had the height for football and for basketball. Honestly, you would have been like a point, but
I wasn't tall. That's what people don't understand. I have pictures now. I'm gonna try to send you one of these days. Like when I played basketball, like at my young age, and like my head is at some of my friends' shoulder, and right now they standing at 5'10". You understand what I'm saying? So I was like 4'11" in 7th grade. I was really small. I just had like really long arms and like I wore like a 7 shoe, And in 7th grade, my foot went from a 7 to a 12 in the same year, So like I kind of like grew overnight. It wasn't. I grew later than everybody else too.
how old were you when that happened?
That's when it started. So I think I finished 8th grade. What I remember is I finished 8th grade. My dress I was 4'11", and I got the card to prove it. I was 4'11", 101 pounds in 7th grade. I finished 8th grade. I was 5'8". And then at the beginning of 9th grade, I was 6'1". So it was like a sprout, and I didn't know what was going on. Like my knees were hurting and stuff like that. So my mom always knew I was going to be tall. She used to always say that, you're going to be tall. Don't worry about it. I was really small. I was that kid that people like typically like picked on at first. Like when I first started out, I used to have to go out and fight, just to like defend myself and stuff like that because I was that guy, So and I just grew overnight.
So you said that you were 6'1" in the 9th grade. So when you got into high school, how come you decided not to go into sports?
I did. I was in sports by the time I got there. My mom
Oh, okay.
sports young, so it's not like she got me. What I'm saying is, when I was about 7, when I was telling you I was taking stuff apart, 5 and 7, I didn't want to then. She forced me into it. My mom made me go play football. She literally took me down to Pepper Mill Community Center and signed me up and threw me to the wolves.
Right.
So that's the first sport I played, and then I was a 3-sport athlete. So I played football, basketball, and baseball, and those seasons run right into each other.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
but I started to do that until she forced it.
Oh wow. Okay, so 5'7" engineer, you're making things. So what made you realize I don't want to be a computer engineer? I don't want to put things together anymore. If you were so passionate about it at such a young age, what made you stop that? And what happened? Where did the transition take place?
Honestly, since we were talking about sports, I can relate playing basketball, which is the main sport, to absolutely everything in my life. Every transition, places I've gone, my growth, my mindset, everything I can relate it back to playing basketball and the things that I went through on that journey. And me wanting to be a computer engineer was one of them. Like I was so sold on that. I was so sold on that. Even because I went to junior college before I went to the university. And when you get to the university, you realize that it should be a double major. You're doing both IT and computer science. So you're learning how to program and build stuff with the hardware, connecting stuff to the motherboard and things of that nature. Even in high school in 12th grade, I didn't have classes. So I was the assistant. One of my coaches was the tech guy there. And I literally used to go around to all of the teachers' classes and take the viruses off the computers and stuff like that. and he wasn't following me. He would literally just give me a list, and I would go to those classes that are on the list, and I would sit back there and take the viruses off and put the antivirus on. I was doing IT work back then, which people were getting paid for free, But when I got to university, it was about basketball, and I realized that when you have a scholarship, that's what it's really about. And when I got to Claflin, I had the best experience there. A lot of things went on, and I ended up having to transfer, and I blew my knee out and stuff like that. So when I got to Virginia Intermont in Bristol, Virginia, I kind of wanted to hurry up. So I was a computer engineer major with a minor in history. You know, I was like, I'm just going to pick history because it's really, really natural. Like history is natural. Like I love debating. I like arguing. I like researching, and I'm actually intrigued about war and philosophy and things of that nature. So I was like, okay, well, let's change up, and we can just go to law school. Because you're pretty much able to sell yourself with anything with history because it's all about researching and finding points. So I can literally relate the techniques and stuff that I got from that major to any business. So like that was like my backup plan. That's how I switched.
Then moving forward, that obviously all ends.
Yes. So basketball, like I had a lot of injuries. Okay, a lot. I've done everything from breaking my fifth metatarsal in my foot, to breaking my fingers, dislocating all my fingers, thumbs, term labrum ligament, dislocating shoulders. At one point, I done had my kneecap kicked to the back of my leg. Like I've had just about everything that you can possibly think of, like just playing basketball. And the way that I play is like really, really physical, so I tend to have these types of injuries about the way I'm playing and trying to force myself through someone else that has force also. And energy doesn't go away, it just transfers. And it typically finds like the weak point in the body and it like cracks. All right. So there was a lot of other things going on with that time with the death of my grandparents and things like that. So I think that also helped with a lot of my injuries because I was like extremely stressed out. And if you don't know, like the stress that you have in life does have a direct reflection on your body. Like people don't understand like how much it affects you, So there's a lot of that going on. And as the years went on, I pretty much developed techniques on coming back. Like I remember when I dislocated my shoulder, I still wanted to try to play that season, right? So I had to have surgery because it got to the point where it's like if I even celebrated, how you go like and one, throw a punch.
Right.
If I punch, my arm would just come out like that, like it would just fall out. And at first, I didn't want to tell nobody because I wanted to keep playing, and that was my problem. I had an extremely high threshold for pain. So I saw what the doctors did to put my shoulder back. I pay attention to things like that. So instead of like telling my coaches that it came back out, I'll sub myself out the scrimmage and go to the side and like move my arm so I can go back in. And then I'll wait for the numbness to go away and then go back, sub myself back onto the floor. So I just had a ton of injuries and I kept making it worse because I wouldn't sit down. So that's pretty much how I like transitioned into athletics because my career ended. Like I still had 2 years left with college basketball. I didn't know what to do. Up into sales, I'm really good at sales. I done sold everything from, gym memberships to TVs and computer, like anything. And I'm really good at it, but I always hated it. It wasn't my thing. It was just something to do, like to make revenue. And my best friend, who I played basketball with, ironically, working at Gold's Gym, and he's like, "Why don't you just come here? Like this is what you like love." He's like, "Trust me, like the atmosphere is totally different." He's like, "You're going to level. Like this is pretty much where you belong." So hopping into fitness was my way of staying in the game. To be honest, it's the best way to explain it.
And that was actually my next question was because we know you're into fitness, like how did you get into that? And that, wow. So, okay, wow, because it's like I have so many questions and I want to stay on track.
Go for it.
Yeah, okay, so with your injuries and you getting into training, so, okay, so he was saying, come over here. So, come over here as in work out, get stronger, or come over here and we want you as a trainer. Like,
Well,
What
no.
type of relationship was built at that point with the
Honestly,
gym?
at that point, I kind of had, because I had this stigma,
Mhm.
whereas like everybody sees you as like the dumb jock per se. Because I remember walking into my engineering classes, no one looked like me, and it was always like what he's doing here type of thing. So I used to like make things like we have to build like trucks that had to like function and pull things, stuff like that. I used to have to make sure I had the best one, because I had to prove that I was just as smart or smarter than everybody in the room. So because of that, I didn't really think about going into training. I was like, I want to learn how to run this place. Like let me hop into the sales department and figure out how to get to general manager so I can get into district manager and have like multiple clubs up under me. Like that was my mindset. I wanted to climb
That's my thing too.
the yeah. I want to show you who I am. Like when I walk in the room, I'm 6'5". I'm confident now. When I was young, I was shy. So now I love being tall. I embraced it. I walk with my shoulders up, and people are intimidated by it. I figured out how to use that, and I'm able to talk. I talk very well, so I had a point to prove. So I was going to go that route, And then as I'm there, I realized, like, as good as I am at doing what I do, I'm not happy. So I'm not happy, and I'm looking out onto the floor, and like people are like training and stuff like that, and I'm really good at like I have niches that they don't have because they didn't play ball. I played semi-pro and everything. I had opportunities to go overseas and play, and because I was hurt so much, I knew how to come back from everything. Like so, rehab was like the first thing that I learned. And then after that, it was injury prevention because like now I don't want to be hurt anymore. Let's build our strength and create this power without hurting ourselves at the same time. So like doing like small things like increasing like ankle stability and wrist stability in your knees, make sure everything's stable. I was doing before I even opened the book to learn how to train. You understand what I'm saying? So originally it was about businessman, but then I realized that my calling was about helping people.
So then at that time is when you transition into becoming a personal trainer.
Yeah, and it's a little deeper with me because I typically like started working with athletes. So because I played ball so long, a lot of guys went pro. So they'll like leave and be overseas all year and come home and work out with me. So I'm getting my reps up working out pro athletes because we grew up together. And honestly, even in school, I was the workout guy. I wasn't just blessed with athleticism. At least I didn't know how to use it. So I had to like work for everything that I had. I had to learn how to jump high and run faster. It took a long time for me to develop these things. So then I started helping other people do the same. And then I'll start having women on the girls basketball team come work out with me in the mornings and stuff before their practice. So even when I was young, I didn't even notice that I was already doing these things. I had such my shoulder does. Like I had something to prove, that I was ignoring my gift. We all have gifts. We all have gifts to give the rest of the world, and this was mine. I'm totally not even looking at it. So if it wasn't for my best friend, his name's Armand, and he's still in the same industry, but he's still on the business side. So like yin and yang. And if it wasn't for him, I would have never like embraced it, or maybe I would have embraced it a long time road. So I owe him a lot for that.
Yeah. And maybe you didn't recognize it at that time because it wasn't time for it to be recognized. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
it's not like on our time. You know what I mean? So it was like, obviously you had to do whatever you had to do during that time. And now it's like, you're ready,
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah. So when you were personal training, when you started a personal train, did you personal train just in the gym at this time, or was it everything and all your clients and everything and the people that you were helping? Was it outside of the gym, or was it both?
It started outside the gym because I was still determined to be the businessman, so I couldn't train inside. But the people, like my managers and my fitness managers and stuff, used to always try to pull me on and stuff like that. And then I realized I started helping trainers out doing things like, especially anything with like SNA, which is speed and agility, stuff like that you typically don't learn just from reading the book. Like you can read about it, but being able to like demonstrate or do these moves is not natural. But it's natural to me because I've been doing it for years.
Right.
They were trying to pull me over, and I wasn't ready to like give up on the whole like CEO guy. Like when I was a kid, I used to always look at the sales guy who was like really really busy and drove sports cars, stuff like that. And I was determined to do that in fitness. Like I'm going to do this in fitness. I don't have to join the government because, in DC, you join the government. That's like the NBA. Like, you made it, right? And I just didn't do that. So I just had so much pressure that I put on myself to be a businessman, I'm totally ignoring. So what I would do is, oh my God, let me tell you this. I even did bodyguard work on the side at some point for American Protection. People don't know that. So I would get up really early in the morning. I would go like play basketball. I would work out a couple clients. Then I'll come into my job. I'll be at my job for like maybe 12 hours. Leave and then go do like a detail, or I might be bouncing somewhere or something along those lines, and sleep 4 or 5 hours and get up and do the same thing again. That was really good at home. Yeah.
I mean, and it all makes sense because it's all kind of collided within each other. You know what I mean? So I get it. Like with what I do with, here as an influencer, it's like it all kind of goes together in a sense. So I get it. I get it. So, how do you, okay. So explain to me, or can you explain to me, say for instance, someone comes to you and says, Randall, I want you to train me.
Okay.
What is the next step? What is the next process that you would take for your client in the direction, in the right direction that they need to go to? Like, kind of explain that process to me.
Like I told you before, I do a little more. Like I call it high performance lifestyle strategist. It's like where I go for, because it's a lot of actual training process. I'm really big on mindset. So when I have somebody that comes in, they want to train. Obviously, I'm going to ask them what their goals are. Like, that's the first thing. Okay, what are your goals? Okay, and I'm going to ask why those are your goals. Why you decide to do this now? Because you could have did this before. Is there any obstacles in your way? How serious are you on a scale of 1 to 10? Tell me more about your goals. Like, what does that look like? Like, I ask a lot of those questions. When I first meet you, it's more like a psychology type of thing. I really want to know where your mind is. How often do you sleep? What are you eating? Are you eating bad? That type of thing. So I can figure out how to create a plan for you. Because a lot of the times, your goal that you want, there's a lot of factors that you have to take care of at home with your lifestyle before we even get in the gym and start breaking the body down and correcting things. Okay, so I'll start there. Start with the mindset. Okay, then I leave there, the mindset and the lifestyle. And then I leave there and I'll put you through a couple tests. Functional movement screen is my favorite now, and I basically just see how you move. Like, are you able to do squats, or test your flexibility? Are you able to lift your leg over a hurdle without any deviation in your hips? So are you overcompensating things? I'm really looking for your imbalances. So this is how it starts. So what I do is I do that, and I will do a body composition if it's on an in-body scan, or if I'm doing the calibers, figure out how much body fat you get, how much you weigh, blood pressure. And I take all of this data and I align it with your personal goals, and that's where I create your program. Mm-hmm. It's basically science.
Right. So say for instance, I want to be your client, and I'm like, Randall, I want you to hook me up. Like, I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying, get a little thick, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to get some thick thighs and stuff. Or like, I'm coming to you and I'm like, Randall, like, I need to get rid of my thighs, you know what I'm saying? These, I'm trying to like really bulk up, or I'm interested in doing competitions. Like, what can you tell someone, for example, that's trying to bulk up and get thick? What would you suggest to them?
What's crazy is, I tell people this all the time. They always look at me crazy when I say it all out. If you want to put on weight, if you want to lose weight, you want to tone up, it's always the same thing. Adding muscle is always the key. That is the main thing. No matter which way you want to go with it, you have to add muscle to do it. And I'll tell you why. Okay, so obviously it's easy to understand why you want to add muscle if you want to bulk up. Okay, that's really easy. Losing weight. Okay, people typically decide to do a lot of cardio to lose weight, right? And it is effective for sure, but it's not like the smartest thing to do, just all cardio. Because what will happen is you become like very soft, like you lose all of the muscle mass that you have by just running. You're not eating appropriately. You're not lifting heavy, because that's what it's about. Lifting heavy. You're not lifting the weights. When you build muscle, right? And let's say something happens. So let's, for instance, you build muscle. You've been working out for 6 months. you've been training hard, lifting weights, eating the way you're supposed to, and then I don't know, something happens, you just fall off, and for 2 months you decide not to work out. Okay, if you were doing cardio only, you may gain 20 pounds, whereas if you were lifting, you might gain 5. You understand what I'm saying? So like that's the biggest difference. Okay, so building that muscle is causes your body to burn more calories at one time. It's gonna make you eat more. It's gonna make you do a lot of things that you wouldn't typically think of. Your metabolism is a lot faster, so you're just burning calories as you're sitting on the TV doing this interview with me, right? And that's super important. Super important. While you're burning these calories, your muscle burns fat. So all of the fat that's around your muscle will be burned by the muscle that you already have. And as you continue to build that and strengthen that, your metabolism rate goes up faster. So that's how you become lean and thin as long as you're eating correctly. Same thing the opposite way. The only thing that changes is how you eat. Okay, like I know a lot of women think that if they lift weights, if they lift heavy, they're going to get bulky. They're not. You're only going to get bulky if you're eating a certain way. A lot of people that you see that look really, really bulky, they did that on purpose. So if you want to put on size, you're going to eat 3 times a day, but you're still going to lift heavy, right? If you want to lean out, things of that nature, you're going to eat 6 times a day. That's really it, but the process will always be to lift and put on muscle.
So if I'm trying to get thin, I need to eat more?
Yeah, more times, not more.
More,
like more
as
times.
in,
Yeah. Like let's say if you
I'm gonna eat like 6, 7 times a day.
yeah, but small.
Small
So
portions.
yeah, really, really small portions. I mean, you want to drink a lot of water, obviously, because that's going to control your appetite. We don't know the difference between dehydration and hunger. It feels exactly the same to us. So a lot of times when we we're just dehydrated, and if you're drinking a lot of water, you will really know if you're really hungry or not. Okay, so that's the first thing. You'll know what your body needs. The next thing is if you're eating 6 times a day, like I said, if you eat an apple at some point, that's one of your meals. You understand what I'm saying? So you don't have to eat
just one apple.
Just an apple, just a little snack in the day.
That's a meal. That's a whole meal for somebody.
Yeah, it's about.
I mean, not for me, but
you gotta understand. It's about eating smaller portions 4 times a day. That's gonna increase the speed of your metabolism, which is gonna burn fat while you're doing absolutely nothing, and it's gonna help you lose weight if you're working out or if you're not. And that's what you want. You want to be burning calories at all times, not just when you're active. So you'll eat a breakfast, like you might have like some oats or some blueberries, something in the morning. Maybe you do a protein shake. That's 2 down.
Right.
You'll have your lunch. That's 3. Then you might do another. That's 4. You have an apple. That's 5. You get what I'm saying? So that's how you do it.
I get it. The skinny Sabrina gets it, but the Sabrina now, yeah, I don't really speak that kind of language. But I mean, it's cool for everybody else that want to, you know what I mean? Because I get hangry nowadays.
Yeah.
And yeah, like apple.
Apple. Like, sugar. Like refined sugar is like one of the worst things you can put in your body. Like refined sugar. Like natural sugar, cool. We can have that earlier in the day and it'll be like a carb. But refined sugar, no, you definitely don't want to eat that.
Right. I mean, I get it. I mean, I've lost 100 pounds twice in my life.
Oh, wow.
So I get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just to hear it though, it's just kind of slightly devastating. Okay. So how much water should you drink? I know we hear like you should drink 8 glasses of water a day. Like if you're working out, it's because I want people that's watching this, I want them to be motivated by want to go to the gym. So now I'm watching this interview and I'm like, you know what? Tomorrow, I'm going to the gym. Because now I'm starting to work out, how much water should I drink a day?
I tell everybody to drink more than you drunk before. So it's all about creating habits with me. So you're not going to start drinking a gallon today if you're drinking 1. So let's go with 2 cups tomorrow. And we're going to keep building on this. You're going to be somewhere around 8 cups. I personally drink a gallon. I drink a gallon a day. And it keeps me well hydrated, everything, muscles full. I got a ton of energy. That's a big factor from it. My calories are burning because I'm giving my body what it needs. To be more effective, drink as much water as you can.
Right. So, can you explain to me what your workout regimen is? So, you are who you are, because obviously it's different for everybody, right? Because everybody's body's different. Like you said, it depends on who that person is. So, what do you personally do? Like, explain to me your day and your like routine, what you eat, etc.
So it's all about goals. Everybody goals is different. I
Okay.
don't have like body goals. I don't have those. I want my body to perform. I still want to run fast and jump high. I love playing basketball at a competitive level still. So like that's my niche. Okay, I want to play basketball. I don't want to get hurt, and I want to be better than everybody else on the floor at 36. I don't care if you're 22, right? So
Right.
I said I drink a ton of water. I wake up at 4 o'clock and I start my day that way. My first workout is around about 5. I work out at 5 and I work out between 12 and 3. So I work out 2 times a day. Yeah.
Wow.
Um, one of them will be athletic. A lot of times I would like my athletic one to be early in the morning where I'm doing squat jumps and things of that nature. But sometimes I'll end up lifting in the morning and then I'll do the squat jump, agility ladders, or skiers, whatever I need to do to improve my speed later on in that day. I'm really about being explosive. Okay, then I break my body down with pushes and pulls. So if I'm going, I work out 6 times a week. Okay, so Monday will be a push day. Tuesday will be a pull day, and basically that's how I line it up in my head. So it's easy for me to break down what exercises that I need to do to touch each muscle. Okay, so like my push, that's obviously going to be anything going forward when being concentric. Okay, so I'm pushing everything out. So like my chest, my quads, cores every day, shoulders, anything that's going to be about pushing out and being explosive will happen on that day. So that's chest day. The next day will be back day. So your posterior chain, your glutes, your hamstrings, your back, your latissimus dorsi, like all of that work will be done on the pull days. And that's how I break everything down. I just go each day and do that. And I do something explosive at least 3 times a week, but I also play basketball 4 times a week. So sometimes I can add that into what regimen is.
So okay, so you don't have any desires of bulking up and getting big or anything. So that's not what you're
No,
aiming for.
I like to just be stronger than a man. Like that's like I like to be able to move a man, like an active live man. I want to be able to manhandle him.
Right.
So it's not really about manhandling in the weight. I've done all of the sizes. My body changes any way I want it. Like I've been up to 240 pounds in college and been really, really strong, but I move really, really slow. And I went from 240 to 205, and I was super athletic at that size, but not as strong. So right now I'm at about
Probably fast too, though.
super fast, super fast. But what I've learned
Right.
was in the process of how to like be in between. So at 220,
Hmm.
I'm about 220 now, 220 and 225. I can jump just as high as I did when I was 205, and I'm just as strong as I was at 240. So I don't figure it out. What I do is aim to put on the muscle, and then I teach it how to move.
Mm.
And so I'm doing a lot of sprints too. Like I'm sprinting, I'm running hills, I'm doing stadiums, a mile, trying to set up 7 minutes. Like all of this is part of my workout also. It's not just about lifting weights. It's a lot more than that. It's about an overall lifestyle with me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Real quick, if you guys have any questions for Randall about fitness or anything like that, and anything that he's discussing, definitely put them in the comments section. I'll try to get them on the screen for you. Refined Queen says, "Do you, Randall, use a template for women and a specific template for women and a different one for men?"
No, I typically base everything off your goals. The body is going to do what the body is supposed to do. So it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, it's not going to do anything different. Everyone thinks like women are like mostly afraid because they think if they start to lift weights that they're going to become bulky. And a lot of the times they're deterred by that look. Like as soon as you start lifting weights, you develop a little bit of muscle, but you got all of that fat that's been there. So you develop a little bit of muscle under the fat and it pushes the fat up. So it looks like you're becoming bulky and you're not. To be all honest, that muscle that you're developing is going to get bigger and it's going to burn off all of the fat. So it's going to look like you get a little more curve and then it's going to flatten out. You just got to stay along with the process.
Mm.
No template. Everything is created just for you. So how you come in here, or if you have a sister or somebody, and they come in here, it's going to be totally different.
Yeah. Do you train differently depending on your client's maybe age? I'm thinking that's what she's trying to say. Do you train differently depending on your client's age?
Yeah, definitely with age, but it's more about what they can or cannot do. Typically, when you're working with somebody that's a lot older, obviously they're not going to have as much muscle mass, and their movement and their joints and stuff are not going to be the same as somebody that's younger. So with them, like we got to do a lot of cable work. Cable work is good for everybody, but you got to go a lot lighter in the weight, and just make sure everything is super specific with them. You want to make sure the form is perfectly fine to create that foundation. And believe it or not, eventually it's going to change for them too, and they're going to be able to be a lot stronger and do things that a younger man or woman will be able to.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Do you offer virtual training?
Absolutely, but you have to have access to a gym.
You
That's
have to have access to a gym, guys.
access to a gym. If you have access to a gym at home, we can do something. I can create a program for you, check-ins, whatever you need to do. But I would love for you to have access to a gym. I think it's very important to have access to a gym. I pretty much think everybody needs to have access to a gym. I do stuff at home, but if you want to really be effective, put yourself in that environment to get it done.
Yeah, because it's, honey, during COVID, that's where I got all this COVID booty from. Let me tell you something.
Hey, I'll be honest. During COVID, I kept eating normal because I eat a lot. I eat all day long. You talking about 6 times? I might be somewhere near 8. And then COVID happened. All the gyms shut down in DC. Everything shut down, and I kept eating. And the next thing you know, my friend like pinched my back.
Right, like what? Like what's that?
Yeah, it's time to hit this Woodrow Wilson Bridge over here. Let's go to the harbor because
Yeah.
I put on 20 pounds real quick.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. And then I lost it. I got vertigo, lost 20 pounds. And then after that, I was like, let me gain my little bit of weight back, which was this past November, December-ish, this past. And I was like, man, I'm too skinny now. I was like, this is crazy. Man, I started eating. I was like, I'm going to gain like 10, 12 pounds. I gained like 22 pounds.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So right now I'm just, yeah, but we're not talking about me. So
I always ask people when they have weight goals, I said, especially women, like, is it the weight that you want or is it the body composition that you're looking for?
Yeah. See, mine was the composition because I like to be a little curvy because I'm so tall. So it's like I want like a little bit of curvature. Now, if I could keep my body exactly how it is, subtract my stomach, honey, they would be like, she must have got a BBL. Like, if I could genetically be made like that, I would be perfect. Okay. But that's how I started losing weight. And I was like, I'm gonna get fit. I was like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be like, bam, bam, I'm gonna lose my stomach, I'm gonna do cardio, I'm gonna do crunches. I did all that, and the first thing I lost was these and this. And my stomach was still there.
Cardio would do it every time, I promise you.
I was like, oh God, I was like, I can't win. Oh, anyway, okay. So real quick, what do you personally eat within a day?
I eat real boring. Let me tell you what my cheat day though is. If I'm gonna have a cheat day, I'm gonna go to Pizza Hut and I'm gonna order a big dinner box with 2 pizzas in there and some chicken and some breadsticks, and I'm gonna eat the whole thing by myself. All right. So I just want to throw that out there to let people know that you can eat other stuff. Mm-hmm. It's not all about eating clean. It's a big thing about eating clean, but you can still eat other stuff. All right. Now, with that being said, on a normal day, I eat very boring, like a dog almost. I drink water. I eat a lot of chicken breasts. I eat fish. I'll eat salmon here and there. I eat steaks. Steaks and salmon are pretty much the same. You can't eat them all the time because there's a lot of fat in there too. But when you eat them every once in a while, it's like huge benefit to your body. If you eat like a steak, there's a lot of creatine in there. The salmon they're very high on protein, so when you eat them, it's good. But just not every day. You can't eat it every day. But I eat a lot of fish, white fish especially. Chicken breast is my go-to because there's absolutely no fat in that. I eat ground turkey, ground beef at times. I try not to eat too much red meat in a month. I limit that. It's more so a treat, like a healthy treat for me, to be honest, because I mean, I obviously love the taste of it, but I just can't eat it every day. It drives your blood pressure up, right? So stay clear of that. But chicken breast, vegetables, water, and fruit. And that's pretty much it. And my snack is popcorn. I eat a lot of popcorn. It doesn't really do it.
Salted, unbuttered.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
used to do that too. Do you meal prep, or are
Um,
you like good with it?
I'm good with the chicken breast. Like I pretty much grab a bowl and I buy my chicken breast and I put them in the bowl and I use the what you call it. It's a new thing. I can't think of it in the air fryer. I use the air fryer and I put everything in there. You know, now you don't got to put the flour and all of that stuff on it because you use that machine. You
Yeah.
know, lightly season it the way you're supposed to. Keep it as clean as possible, and I put it in. I put two in at a time. So that's pretty much how I go by. I should be better at meal prepping, but like my timing is crazy.
Yeah.
So kind of like just put the food that I need, so I can just grab it and go. You know, I grab it. It doesn't take long to fix it. Maybe 20 minutes. You know, get some vegetables together, put it in the bin, and I'm out the door.
Mhm. What Kiki would like to know, what do you suggest for meal prepping for someone that is, let's say, trying to lose weight?
Lose weight. So it's the food pretty much stays the same. You want to have a high protein diet. You want to make sure you're getting all your macros and your carbs in. Okay, carbs, good carbs, not bad carbs. So good carbs. So all of your vegetables are good carbs. Sweet potato is something good to eat. And then it goes back to exactly what I said: your fishes, your chicken breast, and you want to have good fats. Get that from nuts, the quinoa, things like that. The only thing that changes is how many times you want to eat. So, like I just said, you want to try to eat somewhere around 6. All right. If you want to gain weight, you want to eat. But that's the difference.
Yeah. KW says, I'm 5 foot 5.5 inches tall and weigh 191 pounds. Would you consider that I'm overweight?
That's a tricky question. I don't let it call anyone overweight or anything like that. But how do you feel about yourself and what do you want to do? Okay.
Mm,
Because whatever size that you want to be, we can create that. What I will say is, I will say get in the lifestyle of doing things, and you'll be surprised what your body does on its own, just by you incorporating it into the lifestyle.
mhm, mhm. Um, Joyce Green says, "What's the best exercise to get rid of the pooch, lower stomach?"
To be honest, you're not gonna want to hear it. Explosive activities. So let's say jumping rope. Like if you can jump rope every day, you'd be surprised what happens with your stomach. Um, Planks, any type of hold would be great. Planks or being able to hang off monkey bars and holding your legs up. Anything like that will be great for your stomach. It'll flatten everything up. If you do any type of sprinting, like just sprinting, not running for a long period of time, like sprinting, it will be great for your stomach. Absolutely great. But this is very intense. So with that being said, you just want to touch your core absolutely every day and eat really clean. So if you can eat fish a lot of lean foods, and then work out every day and drink water and eat like blueberries and strawberries in the morning, you'll flatten out and you'll lose the booch.
Hmm.
You should see your face.
No, and I'm not even, and I'm, because I'm sitting here in real life, I'm sitting here looking at you and I'm listening to you, and I'm like, dang, I really need to start doing that. Like, that's what I'm sitting here trying to convince myself in my head. I even forgot about y'all over here in the chat. I'm just like, oh God,
Like,
I really need to, because I'm starting to feel it too. Like when I get up from the chair, I'll be like, ooh.
yo, I make all my clients do box jumps, all of them. I like trick them into it too. Like they don't even know that they're gonna do it. I always make them do box jumps or ball slams, anything like that. Explosive energy when you're just creating a maximum amount of force at one time. It's going to help your stomach. It's also going to help you build muscle.
Yeah, and I get it, and I believe you, and I know everything you're saying is the truth, but Refined Queen would like to know, how can one regain motivation?
Okay, so there's this saying, like I don't like talking about Instagram too often because they put out a lot of BS and have people thinking they can do stuff overnight, but they do have some things that are true. And that quote that's going around is that I'm not going to always be motivated, but I will be disciplined. So that's the thing you want to think of. So you're going to have to will your way the first 90 days to create this habit. Once you start doing that, like forcing yourself to do it, you're going to see change within yourself. You know, in the first 2 weeks, you're going to feel different. You're going to see little changes in yourself. About a month and a half, other people are going to start to see that. And your motivation will come. You're just going to become addictive. You're going to be addicted to the changes happening, and you're going to want to keep getting better and better, but you're going to have to will your way to that point. So whatever your goals are, you need to write them out, understand what it's going to take to accomplish these goals, put it somewhere where you can see it every day, so when you have those lapses, you know that you need to get up anyway. And I will start there. You know, it's all about creating the habit. You can't do anything without creating the habit. When you create the habit, that's when you have the mindset. When you have the mindset, your lifestyle changes completely.
Yeah. And everything you saying is true. Mm.
I had everybody you could think of. Like I was round, I was skinny, I was cut up. You know, it's just all about like what you want to do, like however you want to look. Because I know sometimes I have to trick, like because you know it's all psychology, so it's about asking questions and trying to find the emotional trigger. Everybody has a different emotional trigger, and sometimes I flat out say, "So who's your body goal? Like who's the person that you look at on Instagram that you really really like?" And you know, I'll get like Beyonce. Like, do you know how hard Beyonce works to look like that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, she works hard. Like it's documented. Like she said it. I've trained for a year to perform for 2 hours.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, and she's very disciplined. I mean, everything she does, she's disciplined at it, and she is definitely an inspiration. I'm just gonna get like $12,000 and just
hey, you wanna know what's funny about that? Like if you do that, I used to didn't like it, but now I done figured it out. Go ahead, go for it. Like if you do that, you gotta keep it.
you gotta keep it up. I already
Keep it.
know.
You know
I
what
already
I'm saying?
know.
You're gonna have to come over here anyway.
That exactly.
You're gonna figure out any way, any route that you go, you're going to have to create that habit. You're going to have to create that mindset to go hard. If you don't, you're gonna spend 12 grand, and then in about a year and a half, you're gonna be ready to spend another 12 grand.
Absolutely. No, you're absolutely right. And that's one thing that I need you guys to understand. If you do go and get a BBL, and if you get one, make sure you get one with a licensed physician. I am not a doctor. I'm not none of that. So I'm just going to put that out there now. But all I'm saying is just because you get it, your waist will be snatched. You will have the hips, you will have a booty, you will have all that. But guess what? You're still human. So if you sit and if you gain 20, 30 pounds and it can go right back into your stomach.
Yep.
You have to maintain it. So just keep that in mind. You got to maintain it. You're not going to just stay like that. It'll be like that in the very beginning, but yeah, you can't just let yourself go. You got to work it out. Period. Chicken breast. This sounds interesting. It's not a question, but I'd like to read this out loud. Treasure Cash says, "Hello, I take a substance to kill parasites, but I'm scared to feed the parasites, so I only eat chicken breast, salmon, nuts, fruits. Weight is dropping fast. April 238, now 192. I stopped eating all junk." Interesting. Yes, and
The
definitely.
bottom half of that statement is key.
Yeah.
Like eating chicken breast, cutting all this. Like my mom, like going on her journey when I first got her to do it. All I did was ask her to walk every day, stop,
Yeah.
stop drinking soda. 10
Yeah.
pounds, a couple weeks. You know,
Yeah. And it's the little things. Yeah.
just keep building on that.
Just to start. Just to start. C says, how do you position yourself to get more clients and make them want to choose your gym or workouts over the next person's?
To be honest, I pretty much don't worry about what anyone else is doing. The biggest thing with me is about practicing what I preach. So I try to live my life at a high level. I don't care what I'm doing. I need to be very good at it. You know, I don't care if I'm playing basketball, if I'm lifting weights. I need to do it at the highest level. So that's all I worry about. Staying true to my core values. And believe it or not, people watch you. You know, especially when I'm at the club and there are other trainers there and people watch me
Mhm,
jump
mhm.
boxes, come in, I'm slim and I'm tall and stuff like that. People see that. It doesn't matter what the next person is doing. They see what I'm doing. They see what I'm doing. I'm taking it very serious. And that pretty much helps me close my clientele. Being myself.
Yeah,
You'd be surprised about who you were inspired by just by doing your day to day.
absolutely. Absolutely. I say that all the time. Okay, all right. Moving forward. All right, now, so recently,
Yeah.
and now I can say recently because the part two of the reunion has been shown.
Uh,
You were on a reality TV show called Ready to Love that took place in Miami.
mm.
When they contacted you and said, we would like for you to be on our show, how did you feel? What were your thoughts in your head?
To be honest, at first I was going to not do it.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't like being the center of attention, so it was tough. And I've actually turned. There were two other shows, Love Island and The Bachelorette, right before Ready to Love. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, and I started the process with The Bachelorette. No, with Love Island, and then no, it was The Bachelorette. I started the process with The Bachelorette, and I remember talking to the first casting person. She like loved me, and I like found a reason to like back out of it. You know, like back out. Like I literally am a private person. I typically don't like doing things like this.
Right.
Yeah, so I was like talking with friends, and like yo, you never know what's gonna come out of this. You probably meet the girl of your dreams. It could be an opportunity. A lot of people want to see you, and I was like, all right, well, I might as well give it a try. So I'm already moved to Miami. I'm already rolling the dice. Let's go for it.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Mita Joe said you definitely would have been a good look on Love Island. So now that you're mentioning the Bachelorette,
Yeah.
what made you want to be on reality TV?
It took a lot for me to do that. It took a lot of conversations, like a lot of conversations. And it's the fact that I keep getting shows contacting me.
So they're contacting you. You're not saying, "Let me fill out an application. I
I'm
want to do this
not
show."
filling out an application. I'm just doing my normal thing. I just said be yourself, work on your craft, be yourself. Yeah,
Right.
I literally do that. I literally was getting on Instagram, working out. I did more photo shoots though. I was doing more photo shoots. I work out, I wear athletic clothes. That's all I was doing. And they just were contacting me. And then I finally was like, you know what? Like maybe this is a sign. Like maybe,
Yeah.
especially, and then being in my workspace, like I remember working at Vita, and my boss, or my general manager, he told me, he said, man, you have this look. He said, you have this look, and I think you need to use it before you like get too old. Like you should really go for it. So when I came to Miami, this was presented, and I had a million conversations. I finally was like, all right, let me go ahead and do it. And then even when I said I was going to do it, Sabrina, I still didn't think I was going to do it. I was like, all right, let me go ahead. I want to do the process. I'm probably not going to get picked. Like trying to find
Yeah.
something around, and it just kept going further and further and further. So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I get it because I was the same way. Because I was like, let me fill this thing out. I was like, I know they ain't gonna call me. Like, I really, how like you play the lottery and you like, I know I ain't gonna win, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna just go ahead and do it. I'm gonna try. You know what I'm saying?
I was
I
like,
mean, I would love to hit the lottery, but I'd never win.
man, it's starting to be more and more producers calling at one time. Like this is going
Facts.
somewhere. Yeah.
Right. Like, is this like, hold on, like, why I'm talking to so many people?
Yeah.
Like, am I really maybe about to be on this show? Like, what in the world? So, what was your application process like? So, they came to you, they talked to you. Like, what did you do? Like, were you like, after that, did they have like an application for you to fill out, or were you just meeting producers, or how many producers did you meet?
Oh man, I don't know. I did casting. She talked me into it. She asked me everything. Then she sent my stuff to another producer who was like in LA. And then I talked to her, and then I think I talked to like 2 or 3 producers before I filled out my application. They realized they were like, "Oh, did you ever do your application?" And I was like, "No." So, okay, send your application in. And I sent that in, and I sent in. You have to send in all these pictures, and it becomes repetitive because now I'm like, why don't I just take the pictures off the last email that I sent and then use it for this one? But I kept sending pictures through email and things of that nature. I can't remember exactly how many producers I've talked to before I ended up on the show, but it was a lot. At one point, it was all of them, like because they flew to town and you had to see all of the producers. I guess they wanted to see you in person, and
Mm-hmm.
that was fun though because I literally like when people ask me questions. Like if you give me energy, I'm gonna have all the energy in the world to give you. If I got creative, that's why I kind of struggle. So I like sat there and I was like, next question, next question. It was great. That part was great. And it was at least like
Yeah,
14 of them for that. So I'm sure you remember that.
I
Yeah,
remember.
yeah.
Yeah. So this is actually one of the questions I was going to ask you a little bit later, but since Kiki asked, would you do another reality show after Ready to Love?
I would. I definitely would.
Really? Like another dating show?
I don't know about another dating show,
But
but
yeah, you
I
should
was,
do like one of those fitness ones,
I was thinking about it, like a challenge, something like a
like
challenge like that.
American Ninja or something like that. Or yeah,
Yeah, we'll see. I'll definitely. I'm open to whatever. But I don't. I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm not going to do another dating show. I don't want to. That's for sure. I don't really want to, but I'm open.
facts, facts. So JZS says, "Are you still looking for love? It seems like you're on the self-discovery journey now. I'm good and married. I'm just asking for the people."
Right now, whatever happens, I'm gonna let what happens um, happen as it should. Okay, but that's a good observation. I am putting a lot of energy into myself right now, a whole lot of energy to myself. I have to make all of this make sense. I don't do reality TV. I don't move to a new city. I don't have family here, nothing like this. I need to make all of this work, and I'm going the right direction. So might as well keep grinding it out.
Yeah, exactly. So it's Ninja Warrior and Amazing Race. Those are two shows. Yeah, and that's absolutely right. That's absolutely right. Okay, let me get back into it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry because sometimes I'll be getting sidetracked. Um, so after you found out that you were going to be on the show, like who did you tell? Did you tell anybody? I know they'd be like, "Don't tell nobody." What who did you tell? And whoever you told, what did they say to you?
I had a select few that knew because, like, again, oh, you talking about after I finally got on?
Yeah, and you found out like you're gonna be on the show.
Yeah, I had a select few that I told.
Hmm.
Um, like one of my best friends, Bob. Like I told him, he actually came to Miami with me, so I had to tell him. And then I got a couple people from back home I told. And
Hmm.
then I actually, like, when they called me, I was driving, and it was like a surreal moment. So I get off the phone and I'm just thinking like man, like this is crazy. Like who would have thought in a million years like this it will work out? I hadn't been here a year.
Yeah,
I haven't even been here a year yet, and now I'm on a nationally televised show. So yeah, it was very surreal.
yeah. So when you told your friends, like, what did they say? They was like, where were they? Were they like, "Ninja," like,
Yeah,
or were they
they,
like,
they
oh, you
wanted
about to
me to
find
do it
love,
though.
you about to find your wife? Like, how was they acting?
They wanted me to do it. They were excited. They was excited because it's something different for me. Like I don't like being the center of attention. I'm
Yeah,
always that person though. Like I'll become the life of the party if you ever get me out. Like if you put me in the room for networking, I'm a work the room. But you gotta get me there. Is the problem.
right.
Like I'm that person. You gotta get me there. I'm a introverted extrovert, so I do very very well, especially like in intimate situations. So but they were just excited because I'm doing something totally different. It's about being uncomfortable, being comfortable, being uncomfortable, and
Right.
yeah, they were just happy.
Yeah. Mr. Mita Joe wants to know, is your brother single? uh Dana says, what was your brother's initial reaction?
He was one of the main ones. He was super excited. He was like, man, see, I told you, like, you been this dude.
All right, he
You
was
been this
hyping you
dude.
up.
Yeah, he was one of the main ones. Like, he was trying to get me to do the other shows, so he was super happy.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you glad you ended up doing this one and not the other one, or do you feel like you wish you would have done the other one and not this one?
I live life with no regrets, so I'm gonna say that much. I do appreciate the opportunity that was given to me by Go Packers. So I absolutely love that I had the ability to do this show. Um, but I wish that I was more open to do things before it came to this. Though I will say that now I'm pretty much open. Like I'm rolling the dice now. So um, I got to thank them for giving me this mentality because that's something that I didn't have beforehand.
Hmm. Discernment, honey. It definitely changes your perception on a lot of things.
You feel like you can do anything now. Like you just went through this. Oh, you can do
Yeah, yeah, and it's a lot. It is.
it.
All right, so let's go ahead and address the shorts in the room. Let's
Yeah.
address it. So why was it that you wore, not even that you wore, why was it that you were kind of dressed down a lot of times when we saw you on the show? Like why weren't you dressed up? Some of the time, most of the time, like it was, kind of like down.
So I got to get approved for these outfits. Let me throw that out. All right. So there's a combination of things. One, it's extremely hot. I did wear a suit early on in the season. Like my first date with Jamal, I wore a full suit, blue, the pinstripes. I look real good. That's it. By the way, that thing didn't even make it didn't even make the show. You gotta go look at the digital exclusive just to see it.
You said the digital exclusive, honey. They got that tape on the floor somewhere. You can't.
No, it's on YouTube. If you
Oh,
type
is it?
in digital exclusive and like my name, I got a ton of them. I got a ton of them. That's the first one that aired. I swear, it's a whole walk up and everything. I'm gonna send it to
Oh
you.
shoot! And it wasn't on the show, but they did the
Uh,
exclusive and put it on
yeah.
YouTube.
If they would have aired that scene, a lot of stuff would have made more sense.
Honey, I
But they
get it.
but they released it. But they released it as a digital exclusive. I got a bunch of digital exclusives, a whole bunch of them on YouTube. If you go to YouTube, go to or just type in Randall Scott digital exclusive, you'll see it. It'll pop right up.
Wow, I
Yeah,
get it. I get it.
full, full suit. With that being said, I always wore suits, especially in DC. I used to wear suits to the gym. Like I used to work at a gym, and it's a luxury gym. So I used to come in there. Some days I'll dress with a turtleneck and like some chinos, and then other days I have on like a full suit. So when I got here and it's hot, and Miami is like a different vibe. It's more of a laid back vibe, which you're going to get from a hustle city like a DC or a New York. And I kind of just wanted to like mellow it out and be with that and be comfortable because summertime here, 100 degrees, 8 a.m. in the morning, and these scenes take a while to shoot. So it was a combination of things. And, the shorts were requested.
So, moving forward. Because you've already discussed that a few times. So if y'all want to know more about that, you gotta watch the other interviews and stuff. Okay, so real quick, and I don't want to keep jumping back and forth, but when you tell like the ladies, like you're hanging out or whatever, and they're like, well, what do you do? So when you tell them that like you're a personal trainer, what is the response you get from them when you're like, I'm a personal trainer? Like, what do they do? Do they be like, oh, like, can we work out together? Like, what do they like, can you train me?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Absolutely. That's a real thing. Yeah. Especially here. People love that here. At home it's like, oh, okay, so what else do you do? But here it's like
Right.
It's glorified.
Because fitness and the health kick and eating healthy and all that down in Miami, honey, it's on a whole nother South Beach diet level. So
Yeah.
I get it. Because yeah.
I thought I was a kid when I first got here, walking around, I said, yeah, let me put my shirt back on. I got some more work to do. And these dudes on another level out here. So
yeah, they really are.
I love that type of motivation. That's exactly why I came.
Absolutely. So have you given away any free workouts, or do you charge everyone?
Yeah, I'm charging. I'm not doing.
You like, I don't care how pretty she is.
We want to charge for a consultation. Like the conversation we're gonna have. If it's like this, what we're doing right now, yeah, it's gonna be a charge for that. You know, because there's a lot of information you guys you're giving up, and
Absolutely.
it's not like I didn't study for this. You know, I had to go get certifications. I had to do tons of reading and learning. Like, no, I can't give it away for free. You know.
Oh, so real quick, okay, so because that's some of the stuff that I didn't, because I told you I be having a lot of questions, and I
Yeah.
might not get to all this because I don't want to keep you too long. So did you have to did you go to school? Did you get, like, how did you get your certification? Like, do you have a degree? Like how did that happen?
So my fitness, I wish I knew more about it when I was in college because I would have did like kinesiology or um,
Mhm.
anything along those lines. But I didn't really think too much into it at that time. It would have made more sense. But after school, like if you want to train inside of a gym, and you know I work at one of the biggest with Equinox, like the biggest one, right? You have to be certified, and then after that, you'll just keep doing continuing education to continue to get better and better and better.
Mhm. Mm. Wow. So where did you get your certification from?
NASM and ISSA, it's two different institutions.
Is that a facility, or can you get certified online? Can you take
Online. Yeah, you can do it online. You take your class. I took my tests, my exams. They have like test centers all over the country, and you go into the test center and you're proctored when you take the exam.
Oh,
It's not the easiest thing to do. So if this is something that you decide to take serious, and you really go into it, especially if you start to do like a NASM, which is like a huge medical base. I'm telling you, like when you first start reading it, especially me, I was talking about philosophy and um, history classes and computers in college. So some of the terminology that I was reading, like proprioception, I didn't know what that meant. So NASM is all medical, learning the parts of the body, the human anatomy, what does what direction this moves. You really got to take it serious. It's a whole lot. It's
yeah,
not.
you could hurt yourself, or not you hurt yourself, but you could cause someone to get hurt, like physically. And if you tell them to do the wrong thing or something, yeah.
It's so much to it that people don't understand, that everybody think that they can do it, especially since you watching Instagram, and that's why I don't like Instagram, because they give a lot of generic workouts that will help you do absolutely nothing, and especially if it's not tailored to you. Like your program will be tailored to you, because everyone has imbalances somewhere. If you're sitting down a lot, you probably got tight hips. Your glutes are probably not firing, so that's might have back pain, and that might be the cause. But how can someone determine that from over the internet? They haven't spoke with you. They haven't done any assessments on you. Nothing. And then if they're not knowledgeable enough to have went through the process to get certified and keep getting certifications or specialties and stuff like that, how can they really help? Um, Anyone can help you lose weight in the first couple of weeks just by putting together a collection of movements. But are they the right movements? Are you hurting yourself? Are you tearing things?
Right.
And then what happens when you plateau?
Exactly.
So you need to make sure that you're dealing with a professional when you're working with health strategists.
Yeah, yeah. SJ, so she says, why didn't you respond about your brother? He did. He said he was single. He said, yeah. It was just a quick yeah.
He was on there 5 minutes, man. And he was
Now people be asking about your brother. They be
yeah,
asking
I'm
about
like,
your
man.
brother. Yeah. Okay, so Dana would like to know, do you have a body type when dating?
I like fit women, but fit women can come in a lot of different sizes. I just like that to be part of your habits. Curvy women, to be honest. But the type, or like what's bigger than what, it just depends. It varies. Uh,
Hmm.
Throughout my life dating, like the women don't mirror each other as far as like physical appearance. I'm all over the place.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I get it. I get it. Okay. So the amount of money, and I want to go back to this. I'm so sorry. So the amount of money that you make in personal training.
Uh-huh.
So, and we're not going to talk too broad. So within 30 days, within a month's time frame, what is the least amount of money that you've made as a personal trainer in a month? And what is the most you have made as a personal trainer within a month?
What I'm going to say is you have the ability to make whatever you want. That's what I said. Fitness is not a. If you wanna make money in fitness, you have to grind. It's absolutely have the Wolf of Wall Street mentality. You have to grind. You have to take it serious because it's commission based. A lot of us commission based. It's all commission based. So you have to be able to build relationships and foster them. You need to be able to keep people. You shouldn't have high retention. And if you want to make 20 grand in a month, you can make 20 grand in a month. But you can absolutely make nothing too. So it's all upon what you want to do. And it's legit, especially if you're in certain areas. You see these trainers and stuff riding around in these sports cars and stuff like that. It's not fake. So it's all about your work ethic. Let's put it that way.
Facts. And that's in any genre, anything you do. You apply yourself, if you were, yeah.
If you got a good work ethic, you would change your life.
Facts. How many clients do you usually have in a day?
Right now, 10.
Okay. Is that the max? Like you won't do more than 10?
I'm actually since I'm new to this city, so things are growing for me. I'm big trying to have bigger days because I work 4 times a week, and then have my weekends to go do whatever I want to do, work on other stuff.
Absolutely. So just jumping back to the show now, my last question about the show is would you do it again? The Ready to Love, would you do it again?
Probably not. Probably not. Probably. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think so. Right now, yeah. If it started tomorrow, I probably wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
It's a lot, but ask me again in 6 weeks, see what happens. But I'm fresh out, and not only am I fresh out, it's you end the show, and then you get a month, and then you got to relive everything all over again, and then it's edited certain ways, so it's just now you're anticipating on what's going to happen or how it's going to be seen. So yeah, it's a lot. So yeah, right now I wouldn't do it again.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Well, I want to say congratulations to you for completing the process. You have a smile on your face. You are holding it together. I just want to say, just make sure positive thoughts, positive vibes, and always remember that you are bigger than this show.
Love
You're
that.
bigger than anybody out here, anything that they have to say. Always be true to you moving forward in and out of this process.
Yeah.
Because everybody is going to have something to say, regardless if they love you or not. Anyway, do you have any projects that you are working on right now that you would like to share?
Nothing right now. Right now, I'm pouring energy back into my craft. But shooting the show took a lot of time away. So it's about re-energizing myself to be the person that I say I am, right? So pouring all of that energy back into me, making sure I'm working out as much as I'm supposed to, playing ball as much as I'm supposed to, taking everything serious. That's my biggest thing. I don't care what it is. If I'm gonna make a paper airplane, it gotta be the best one on the East Coast. So that's where I'm at right now. Is just getting back to living at a high level and helping other people. I enjoy helping other people. I love the journey of watching someone go from I don't know if I can do this to what's next. So that's where I am.
Yeah. Where can people find you on social media?
It is now at King Randall 31 on both Twitter and Instagram. You can type Randall Scott into Facebook if you use that, and you can find me there. And it is R Scott 31 on TikTok.
Yeah. So are you going to start a YouTube channel maybe?
Yeah, that's next. I already have the YouTube, and I have a ton of information that I need to talk about that I haven't been doing. I'm gonna do the same with my Instagrams. I'm about to put a lot more information out there, a lot more content. I'm about to be really big in the content creating field. So you will see a lot more coming from me very soon.
Okay. All right. And if they go to your Instagram page, is it anything that they can look forward to on your Instagram page? So with them following you there, that would actually lead you to or lead them to your YouTube? Like what's on your Instagram that you'll be uploading to?
Yeah, I'll be uploading everything from workouts to tips,
Mm,
a lot of motivational speaking, things that I have gone through that I have not spoke about. I will be talking about a lot of those things that help create the person that is sitting before you. So you'll have a better idea of how my mind actually works and what I went through to get to this point because it wasn't easy. You don't just wake up like this, you know. So you'll get a lot more of Randall raw on these sites. So I look forward to like being an open book now.
yeah.
You can
I
thank
look forward to seeing it as well. And I think everyone else is too. You have a lot of people out here that do love you. And, I just want you to keep pushing forward and, making this situation that you were in, this
yeah.
process that you were in to benefit you in the long run and turn everything that was negative into something so amazingly positive. Well, anyway, thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you here. If you have not liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. So much amazing content. If you are catching the replay, comment down below. Let Randall know. If you have any questions about fitness or anything, put it down below. And yeah, I guess until the next time we meet, love you guys. Bye.